Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Versus midweek and versus prime morning. It's a Wednesday morning. It's a rainy morning. And so if you're going to work, please be careful on the roads as you make your way to find your daily bread. And of course, we'll be here to actually serve you. And we're live on Facebook. You can also join us via way of messages on our WhatsApp line. It's very active. So you can drop your messages over there and let's know what you think. Your contributions are very much welcome here on the show. From now till the next 40 minutes or so. This is what we call News Flash. We check out what is happening on the front page of newspapers, and also we bring you some very important conversations as well. Proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise from Papa Pathie. And this morning you might want to just get yourself best. And when we talk about the best, we're talking about the best of the best phones, and we're talking about CCTV cameras as well. We're talking about fridges. We're talking about air conditionings. All right. So if you need to replace any of these, or you don't have at all and you want to own one, this is the place you have to be. Franco Trading Enterprise is the leading electronic retail shop here in Ghana. Everybody has accepted us. We're a household name, and everybody knows what Franco Trading Enterprise can do. Now, those of you out there who are looking forward to getting yourselves televisions, we've got screens between 32 and 55 inches just for you. And if you're also out there, you need a new fridge in your shop, in your homes, please do go to Franco Trading Enterprise and get the very best from there. And don't forget that we are living in the age where a lot of things happen in our absence, all right? So if you own a shop, if you have a house that you want to make sure that whatever happens in the house, you're able to monitor, this is the place you have to go and get your CCTV cameras. You can watch anytime, any day, anywhere you are. Franco Trading Enterprise says we've got you. Call us 0555-939311, and you can also speak to us on our Franco Trading app. Just download the app and you're good to go. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can also have Franco in your hands. It's pretty simple and you can do so. All right, so we're going to get into it, but we're going to check out the front pages of the newspapers first of all, and then we'll get into our substantive issue. This morning we're looking at some very major issues that have come up. Now, STC is in the public, and in the public for what exactly? They are actually supposed to have another managing director who will become the third managing director, but the staff says no. There's been a petition that we want to look at it this morning. They've requested a few things that they want to be done, and not a new managing director that would add up to the number to be 3. And so we look at the 56 million was supposed to have gone into the area of internet for senior high schools, but unfortunately that has not been able to be delivered. The fourth estate has investigated that and has realized that the Ministry of Education did not do a good job. Now the ministry has responded and they've said that, well, they did, but the company that was contracted to do that at the time did not fully execute their mandate. And the question is why? And so this morning we're going to be asking a lot of questions on that issue as well. So you might also want to send your messages to us. Busy Internet was the company that was actually contracted for that, internet service providing for the senior high school, but it never happened. And so we'll look at it also here on the show. And I'll introduce my guest to you in a couple of minutes, but let me go to the front page of Daily Guide. And the Daily Guide says that the Chiefs endorsed Baumia. Chiefs endorsed Baumia, and basic schools transformed, says Edichum. The ministry is speaking on basic schools as well. Vote transfer, EC left ban on party agents. That also captured on the front page of Daily Guide this morning. I will flee their traps, says the AG. The AG has also spoken with regards to the ongoing issue of the 200 ambulance and the issue of Japa. And yesterday there was court proceedings, and so a lot of findings have actually come out, so we'll be looking at that as well. Now, Mokufuor is Kempong Academy patron. That's also captured on the front page of the Daily Guide for today. Now, let's get into the custodian, yes, the custodian is also here, and the custodian says that government spent 10 billion Ghana cedis in TVET project, and Chibosiako says so. Ghana said to plant 10 million trees June 7. Lance Minister speaks on that. We believe in you. Greater Accra chiefs tell Baumia, and Sami Oku donates motorbike to Reverend Menu for evangelism. That's also captured by the custodian this morning. The Ghanaian publisher is here, and it says Ghana's female VIP call, a snapshot of progress worldwide. Friday, June 7 is Green Ghana Day. 10 million tree seedlings to be planted. And also, Chiefs express confidence in Baumia. That's also captured by the Ghanaian publisher. Now, let's go to the Ghanaian Times. It says the most authoritative newspaper. Green Ghana project, a major success. Lance Minister says so. And President Akufo-Addo calls for deeper Africa-South Korea ties. And EC allows party agents to observe vote transfer. The big story over here says 2 ex-soldiers, 9 others jailed, 252 years over robbery at gold company. 252 years. 2 ex-soldiers and some others, 9 others. So you can imagine if you put that together, you'll be running around that figure. The new finder says that own urban policies, minister appeals to stakeholders for desired impact. And out of 41 million trees planted, 30 million thriving, says Jinapo. And Greater Accra House of Chiefs expressed trust in Dr. Baumia's potential to help Ghana. Now, President Akufo-Addo advocates for stronger Africa-Korea partnership at 2024 summit. That's the new finder reporting on that issue this morning as well. So, there you go. That's the front pages of the various newspapers. We're going to get into a major conversation this morning here on the show. And my guests have joined me. Let me introduce them to you quickly and then we'll move on. Now, Adeli bin Sheikh Umar Ibrahim is here with me as always, the National Communications team for the NDC and also the director in charge of the Youth Wing, Greater Accra. He's in charge of operations, joining us this morning as always. Adel, I hope you're good.
I'm good, KMJ. We thank God. It's been some cold days, you know.
Yeah. Very cool days.
KMJ, I'd like to put out something that is critical. So there's this mall at Manette Junction called Ghana International Mall, and for the last few days there has been problems. In fact, on Sunday, the rains, it was actually very windy and stormy. And it so happens that one of the transformers, the cable that comes all the way onto the transformer, had some sparks on it. After a while, after the rain had settled, it had this, hot, red-looking, part of the metal, pretty much like it wanted to cut, and it kept, sparkling. I called ECG. Lodged a complaint. In fact, I called the engineer, the former engineer at Teshi, and lodged a formal complaint to him that let your people come and take a look at it. That was Sunday. No one came. I called this call center on Monday, yesterday, last 2 days, lodged a complaint again, continuously called the engineer, no one came. Yesterday, I called again, consistently reminding them that, listen, if you don't do something about this thing, what is going to happen is that if there's another rain, it would cut through. And when it cuts through, there are 2 other cables. So the wind can easily move it to touch other cables. And then by the time you realize,
it's another fire outbreak.
Guess what? It happened yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, last night. It's crazy. And there's another part of the conversation that would be coming later. This mall is being built by a Chinese national. The largest mall in the entirety of West Africa will be giving employment to thousands of Ghanaians within the Lekma enclave area. Thousands of Ghanaians. They are being frustrated by certain elements in government. You're not creating the job. Someone is creating the job for your people. Give your people jobs. You're not able to create it. The ones they have, they're managing. You say you want to kill it. Someone leaves his country, comes to your country to build one to help give employment to your people. You're frustrating them. Soon, the details, the elements, they know themselves. Soon, the details of it would come out. They should do what is right. But for now, Electoral Commission, ECG should come and take a look at that cable, because if they don't,
there'll be another problem. Okay, I think it's something that we're going to get into. We'll find out, and then we'll be able to also bring some more updates on that. So, yeah. Which area are you talking about again?
Mane Junction.
Mane Junction.
Yes, Mane Junction.
Okay.
Spintex.
Okay.
Ghana International.
I'll pass there today. I also have in the studio the man representing Movement for Change Communications team is Ni Ayi Opare. Bro, how's it? You good?
Oh, we're good. Greetings. Greetings again, yes. I was not able to join you last week.
Yeah.
Yes. Usually I'm on the grounds in the field, so I have to put the two together.
Try and manage the two.
Yes, sir. Today I'm here.
But it's not bad at all.
At all. No.
Great. Great. Thanks for making time this morning. We'll be joined by Zoom by Padre Boachidankwa, a government spokesperson on governance and security this morning. Also will be sharing his thought with us. If he's able to join us, I'll let you know, and then we'll put him on. But this morning, we're going to be looking at two major issues, which happens to be the Ministry of Education. Now, the Fourth Estate has actually brought out this, it's not an investigation, but it's more or less like a probing to what happened with regards to the SHS internet service provision that was supposed to have been made by the Ministry of Education. Unfortunately, some monies were spent, over 56 million Ghana cedis that were supposed to have gone into that. But of course, there has been issue of truncated services, those which are not even happening at all. And the Ministry of Education has responded and said that there were some of them that were active, some of them were not active, but then the company that was contracted was not able to execute some of the other ones that we're hoping to let them execute. And there have been some tunes of 11 million all involved. And yes, we're probing that issue. We've spoken about this issue severally over here when it comes to the issue of free SHS and internet access. And they've always said that, oh, we have done it. The people are enjoying it. When you go on the ground, it's not happening. And here we are right now. 56 million has gone into this project.
That's what's been claimed, because I've seen the counter
from the ministry.
From the ministry, yes.
Exactly.
And they are claiming it's not, the report is not right, and that they've been providing the service and all of that. You see, KMJ, I have, so again, greetings to all our viewers out there, particularly the youth of Ghana, and special greetings from the man in charge, Honorable Alan Chewanting of the Movement for Change, yes. I like to look at this differently, right? There's a developing worrying trend, which I think we have to address very quickly. This culture of allegations. So we have claims and counterclaims, and then we leave it there. It's developing, it's becoming too rampant, and I'm getting a little bit worried about this. So we all know the Fourth Estate. Right? This is not the first time they've done any work like this. They come out with certain reportages and then exposés, yes. All we see from those who are mentioned in these things, particularly government players, are just counter claims to those, and then it ends there. I mean, so does it mean anybody can just wake up at any time and slap allegations on anybody they wish to, and then all you have to do is just respond and say, no, these are not true, and then we leave them, and we leave it at that? Because some of the cases, the allegations they're making border on causing financial loss to states, which is a very serious crime. So how do you make criminal allegations against someone and nothing is done about it? State institutions don't pick this thing up to investigate. I mean, this is not the first time. Just recently, Martin Amidu threw out some issues concerning government officials. And it was just a response from the speaker. None other than the speaker himself. He just responds in a counterclaim and says, these are not true. And then he should, instructing Amidu to. I know it's not related, but I'm just saying this culture of allegations, unsubstantiated allegations is becoming worrying. I think we should, it even goes further back. You remember there was an expose that was done by Al Jazeera. Involving the highest office of the president. Yes. And all that came from that was another counterclaim saying they are instructing Al Jazeera to retract and apologize. And they stood their ground and said they're not going to do anything about it. What has that case gone to? Everybody's going to sleep on it. So if we have a culture that's developing where people can just throw wild allegations around, which are criminal in nature, and nothing is done about it, then what are we doing here? It means anybody can wake up at any time and slap any allegation on maybe yourself, like KMJ, and all that the person will have to come and say is, okay, I've done this. And maybe you just have to respond and say, you are calling for that person to respond or retract. And then the matter dies there. No, we have to be serious. So this issue concerning the ministry is disturbing. I don't know what to believe right now, but then I'll go with the fourth estate. Because if not, government should take legal action against the fourth estate. If they claim the publication was false, and that is not what has been properly represented in there, take them on. Because you have to sue them so people know you can set a precedent and let people know you cannot just wake up and make wild allegations against anybody and go scot-free. Otherwise, then state institutions that have been mandated to take a look into some of these allegations to investigate corruption and corruption-related practices should take a very good look at these issues. Because, I mean, you're not talking about paltry sums here. 56 million Ghana cedis will bring you somewhere close to about 6
And you're looking at 2013 institutions.
Exactly. You see, and this is a very sensitive institution, education. So we cannot politicize this thing and then just allow this thing slide. No. Proper investigations have to be made into this. But I can tell you, KMJ, I'm not confident about any of that.
You think nothing will happen?
Even if investigations
the company involved won't be called upon?
I mean...
to answer some questions?
I don't think anything will happen, because I don't think if it's true, what if the story put up by the fourth estate is true or anything to go by, it means it's not just the company that's involved. It's people high-ranking in governments that...
With a contract between the ministry and
exactly.
the internet.
So, I mean, how then do you go prosecute government officials who are acting in concert with the entire government? How do you take them to court to seek justice? It's not going to go anywhere. You see, this is where we are at. But I'm saying we have to deal with this culture of wild allegations that is springing up. It's really going to damage our democracy. Because, like I'm saying, anybody can just say anything and then destroy people's reputation without any substance, any substance to back their claims, yes. So we should look at it very carefully, deal with it. If anyone makes an allegation and they're not able to back it with hard evidence, the law should take its course and then deal with that so we can curb this. But if those claims are really true, I mean, whichever way, we should have investigations to ascertain the validity of those claims or otherwise.
Okay, very well, thank you. So, Adele.
KMJ. Listen, 56 million Ghana cedis. We've been going back and forth over the last...
This issue has always come up, especially when we didn't have stories from investigations to prove that, indeed, this is what is on the ground.
KMJ, you're looking at the likes of Accra Academy.
Yeah, Laboni, Olgatanga, about 50 schools involved.
50 other schools that are involved. KMJ, how many minutes walk or how many minutes drive is it between here, okay, from here to Accra Academy? Why would Fourth Estate decide to peddle lies on a school that is less than 20 minutes or 30 minutes away from it?
That anybody can verify.
That anybody can verify. Doesn't make any sense. Laboni Secondary School.
My school,
And it's just
yeah. So what would give someone the temerity to want to peddle lies when in reality it is just a walk away? It doesn't make any sense. But you see, these things that keep happening, it's pretty much like, you know, a way of just amassing wealth. And it's kind of, you know, I mean, they keep doing it over and over. Me indicates that over the years, what we've had is that, you know, there's allegations and counter-allegations. KMJ, we have indicated continuously that you cannot have an allegation and leave it at that. But the person responsible for making sure that prosecutions take place, for making sure that investigations take place, is the Attorney General. They have been given, their office has been given the power to prosecute. And so if the government is not interested and what the government wants is to pick and choose, certainly you would have some of these things happening. I cited examples for you here, right here. We're talking about to force in 2.37 million euros, right?
Euros, yeah.
Okay. Are you aware that the amount of money Ajima Menu has cost this country is $81 million from the COVID-related issues? $81 million. 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. 1.2 billion. And this is someone who even admitted to it and says that, listen, I know, at the time I wasn't really thinking straight. If you're not thinking straight, what are you doing as a minister?
if you don't have the ability to think on your feet, if you don't have the ability to be able to be versatile, what are you doing in a ministry like that? Why won't you just let it go? I respect Kweku Kwarteng. When he was offered the Ministry of Finance, he said, look, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. You know, I can see what has been created. I can see the mess. I'm not interested. So you have all these things happening. The first you can ever have is to have an allegation, like Fourth Estate is doing. He has alleged. It is verifiable. So let's go in and investigate. When we investigate, by going to Laboni, by going to Accra Academy, and we confirm that what he has said is true, that for some of them, over a year, for some of them, months, the internet is not working when we have actually paid money for it. It is called what? Causing financial loss to the state. Once we get that, the next thing to do is to prosecute. Then we hold you, then we take you to court. Then we establish prima facie. Once we have done that, we prosecute, and then if God wills, you take a ruling, you take a judgment, you get a conviction. KMJ, you cannot get a conviction. You cannot get prosecution if you don't listen to the allegation and then investigate. How is that possible? So when you have a government that is seated and interested only in how they can make money, then certainly you're going to have all of these issues happening. You know their belief?
It means what?
Says, careful to all these people that are miserly, the backbiter. Careful. It doesn't make any sense. We're calling on government. The monies keep going out. The monies are being wasted on a daily basis. We need to sit down. We need to do something different. We need to make sure that our monies do not go waste. You're doing it continuously. This is verifiable. It is just here. Someone move to the place and verify. Joy Prime can verify. Everybody can verify. 2 million Skytrain, gone. $400 million National Cathedral, gone. $12 million Pualugu Dam, gone. Ejapa, 12 million, gone. What is this? Cecilia Dapa, she's walking free. Charles Bisu, everywhere.
Anyway, you can also join us with your thoughts of this morning here on the issues we're talking about. We're looking at the ministry responding to the internet service that was supposed to have been provided for some schools. We're looking at about 1,013 schools here in the country. Now, some schools that have been affected, notably Laboni Senior High School, Bolgatanga School, and of course we've got Accra Academy also in there. And the ministry has responded and has said that, well, there were some monies that were paid. They did their best to ensure that, whoever that was involved in the contracts, delivered. But unfortunately, there were some upward review that was also done, and some other monies were added to it and all of that. But as it stands right now, we're yet to see the exact proof that indicates that busy internet did not. But you see, the thing is that when you go on the grounds, when you are there and you ask questions, you realize that for some years and months, people have not had internet service.
Yes. Laboni is my school.
That's the other side of it. So, but anyway, we're going to be looking at it. Let's say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise this morning for making it possible for us to have a news flash here on the show. Now, you can also go and grab something from Franco Trading Enterprise. If you need a phone, the best place that I can assure you that you have the best of phone is Franco Trading Enterprise. First is the place that everybody's going when we're a household name. And so, yes, you can imagine the kind of impact that we've made in the country as far as giving out gadgets, and I'm talking about quality gadgets are concerned. And so you do well and go grab yours. Call us on 0555-939311. You can also go and download the app. It's the Franco Trading app. It's pretty simple. Once you download it, you'll be able to also do business with us. That one, you've got Franco in your hands, all right? And our website is www.francotrading.com, and that's where you can also just touch all the things that you want to touch over there and purchase all the things you want to purchase on Franco Trading Enterprise app and website. It's just that simple, all right? You can send your messages towards our WhatsApp line is active, so you can also let us know what you think about the Ministry of Education and the ICT issues that Fourth Estate has brought out, and share your thoughts on that as well. I don't know whether I would like to give Pygriff some 2 minutes to have a say on this very issue that we just ended.
MJ, very good morning to you, and I like your outfit.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. You look
Always,
good as well.
always.
Very
Always.
Thank you.
ecstatic.
Hey,
2 minutes.
He's used the 2 minutes too.
Good to see you, my brother. I'm wondering why both of them are wearing orange.
You know? Yes, to me as well.
What am I missing?
You're the green in us.
Well, you guys are looking.
Oh, because we're doing Green Ghana on the 7th, so we decided to start early.
Yes, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the Honorable
Jinapo.
Excellent gentleman.
Yeah,
Excellent
great
gentleman.
guy. Great guy.
Great guy. So on Friday, the president is going to lead the charge to plant the first tree at the Nicholson Park in Burma Camp, together with the rest of the Ghanaian people. And it's exciting to see the monitoring and evaluation that has been done over the years. And I commend him and commend the government for such an initiative that is going to help ensure that we reforest the country and also add our own contribution to the climate depreciation over the years. Kimja, very good morning to you.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, and a very good morning to your viewing public. The weather out there is beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful. A very, very rainy morning. So I pray that people that are driving will drive slowly, and children that are going to school will be safe as well. On the Ministry of Education, I'm not too sure whether you read the statements that came out from the ministry, but once I'm here, I'll just briefly read through. So there's a press statement from the ministry dated the 3rd, signed by the spokesperson, Kwesi Kwarteng, and it says there's no scandal at the Ministry of Education regarding Wi-Fi payment. The first paragraph says that the Ministry of Education wishes to address the claims made in a recent report by the Fourth Estate reporting the Wi-Fi for Schools program. The report, which suggests a failure in service delivery and misuse of public funds, is inaccurate and does not represent the facts. For the purpose of clarity, the facts of the matter are as follows. Background. And it gives a background of the event. In line with Government of Education Transformation Agenda, the Ministry of Education undertook a significant initiative to boost internet connectivity in educational institutions in 2019. The program extended internet access to senior high school, colleges of education, regional and district education offices across Ghana, thereby enhancing learning, administration, and research capabilities. Contract overview. The ministry secured PPA approval for 2 phases of the project. Phase 1, in August 2019, to engage Busy Internet Ghana Limited for Wi-Fi provision in 717 senior high schools at a cost of 59 million Ghana cedis. And this covered supply, installation, and maintenance of hardware devices with a recurring sum of dedicated internet not exceeding 2 million Ghana cedis. Phase 2 of the project expanded the scope to include all 16 regional education directorates offices, 46 colleges of education, and 260 district education offices of GES at a cost of 24 million Ghana cedis, plus a recurring monthly dedicated internet of an amount not exceeding 3.7 million Ghana cedis. The total contract sum amounted to 84 million Ghana cedis, covering hardware supply, installation, maintenance, training, and testing across 1,013 institutions, including SHS, colleges of education, regional and district offices of education. In line with the review clause in the contract signed in 2019, an upward review of monthly recurring costs was approved by the PPA and capped to an amount not exceeding 11 million Ghana cedis in 2023 due to the prevailing inflation and foreign exchange rate. Despite the approved amount of recurring expenditure, it is important to understand that the ministry only pays for the accessibility, dedicated internet, and not necessarily the total capped monthly cost. Wi-Fi functionality. Wi-Fi functionality depends on multiple components, including routers, cables, and access points. Any malfunction in these components can affect services. Similarly, Wi-Fi access is primarily limited to specific areas within the school, library blocks, administration blocks, and ICT libraries. Payment. Service compensation for the payment of any monthly cost is prorated as required by the terms of the contract. Specifically, the contract provides that the supplier shall be compensated on a pro rata basis. The effect is that any downtime up to and exceeding half of a particular month would not be paid for. This means that despite the approved amount of the recurring expenditure, the ministry does not pay a peswa if services does not reach the 50%, less than half of the month threshold in a particular month. Monitoring mechanisms. The ministry employs various monitoring mechanisms, including reporting lines from ICT coordinators in schools, Wi-Fi monitoring tools, and a network operating room. These measures aim to ensure timely dedication and resolution of connectivity issues in the institutions nationwide. It also helps the ministry to know how much of the services to pay within a particular month. Additionally, the contract provides for a committee made up of the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, NACA, NCA, to vet all invoices and certify before payment is made to Lifted Logistics Limited, formerly Busy Internet. Yeah. There is also validation committee set up by the Minister for Education to equally vet all invoices before payment is made to the vendor. For instance, in February 2024, despite an invoice of 6.4 million Ghana cedis submitted to the ministry ended up paying 3.6 million Ghana cedis after vetting. Terms of the contract. The ministry, upon evaluation, is considering termination aspects of this contract in schools that are experiencing satellite connectivity challenges, a situation which has been attributed to the failure of Lifted Logistics Limited, formerly Busy Internet, to pay its providers. Conclusion. The Ministry of Education, under the leadership of the Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, is committed to ensuring value for money in all its initiatives and reassures the public of the government's dedication to improve education with the aim of achieving socio-economic transformation. The ministry urges the public to disregard the erroneous impression created by this publication from the Fourth Estate and any such. Signed, Kwesi Kwarteng, spokesperson. Now, you need KJ. I'm glad that you allowed me to read this to the viewing public. I am gradually getting very concerned for the fourth realm of the estate, which is the media, particularly Fourth Estate, and I know their mandate. I know that their mandate is to uncover and reveal and all of that. But really, when the substance of the issues claims to bear that there's not been any misappropriation of government funds, I think that we need to be able to stick to the letter. You know, elsewhere around the world, I know that you can have internet connectivity in high schools, in universities, and so that it enables academia, it enables research, it enables students to be able to study effectively. When you come, and we're talking about constant provision of internet service. Yes, when you come to our side of the world, and a government that is thinking forward, a government that wants to make sure that when your children are in secondary school A or tertiary school B, is comparable to people in Oxford or Yale or other places around the world. And government is thinking that internet has come of age, where every single high school should have internet connectivity. When government has provided this, using public funds to ensure that these things are provided for students to be able to study. And government is also ensuring that it's not just paying the money, but it's vetting the money with committees that have been set up. I would expect that any newspaper worth its salt would really want to commend government, rather than always looking out for ways and means of denigrating government and ways and means of always trying to state that government is trying to cut a corner. I think that overly, I'm getting tired of these kind of conversations. I'm getting tired that every single morning, NDC would wake up and rise up to issues of scandals that does not hold bear to the bare facts of the law. You raise accusations that has gone to competent court of jurisdictions that has been thrown out. So really, for me, I would continually commend the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, commend the excellent leadership of the Minister for Education, the Honorable Yao Osei Educhum, and commend that we are caring about these children, because it's a KMJ. the world is changing. And I've always stated this, that if our children in Aquinas, our children in Laboni, our children in Adisado College, where I went to, are able to have internet connectivity, if our children in Wale Senior High School and Bogatanga Senior High School and Tamale Senior High School are able to have internet connectivity and able to do the research that is cutting edge, that is going to fit industry, I think that we should be able to, the least we could do, really, is to be able to ensure that we commend the government. Do you know how far we have come with internet connectivity? You remember Africa Online many years ago. And so we've come a long way to even to see that senior high schools can now have internet connectivity. It's something that is extremely commendable. Now I would encourage the people of Fourth Estate that, I think that we have come of age. These exposés that they seem to be uncovering, which lays facts to the fact that the things that they are stating is not true. I think that, look, the readers, the Ghanaian people deserve better. So they should really up their game, commend government for what government is doing, than every time government is trying to raise accusations that does not hold bear. The statement is very clear. The Minister for Education has spoken, the ministry has spoken, the spokesperson has signed, and I think that we should be able to ensure that there is consistent connectivity for your children, for my children, for his children, the nieces, the nephews, the grandchildren that we have, so that they can be able to see to it that, yes, we've gone to school, we've come back from school, it's cutting edge, it's competitive, the government has set enormous transformational agendas within the educational sector that I've never seen in this Fourth Republic.
But it's these same schools that are actually complaining. They bring the complaints that we don't have internet service. Well, we've been told that we're supposed to have internet service, but it's not there. And if you're looking at the monies involved, then again, somebody would want to argue that, okay, you've raised an amount of money or X amount of money that you want to provide internet for a particular area. Now it's not happening. And so even if you've started, can't we get beyond just we have started, but everybody's enjoying it and it's consistent?
No, but you see, KMJ, did you see the number of schools that
I've seen.
Good.
But
huge number.
Exactly, but you're supposed
tell me the
everyone.
Number, no, but tell me the number of schools that are complaining. And rate that to the number that is not complaining. Okay? Let's wake up in the morning every day to look for positivity. Okay? Because that's really encouraging for the retired person. Because, you see, the retired person must have hope in this country. The younger person must also have hope.
But a retired person does not want to be lied to.
No, I don't think that our government is lying to the Ghanaian people. I have found the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to be one of the foremost truthful governments in this Fourth Republic. Very, very truthful. You know, seriously, I found this government to be very truthful, very open, very transparent. Well, you can't disagree, but it lays fact to the truth that this government has been truthful, transparent, open and accountable. And we have performed one of the best open door policy in this country that the Ghanaian people admire so much. Every single thing that you need of government brings that to you because there's really nothing to hide. We are at the remit of the Ghanaian taxpayers. And we are using the Ghanaian taxpayers to be the Ghanaian taxpayers' money to be able to ensure that the country develops a step further. And so really, look at the schools that are not complaining. They outnumber those that are complaining. And then look at the invoices that come. And the invoices that come, if it's 6 million and vetting has been done, and we realize that connectivity has not gone to X number of schools, those payments are not done. Look at the perimeters of the contract. 50%, if you don't reach up to 50%, payments are not done. And so let's look at the substance of the issues. And really, you see, when some schools are benefiting, and we come and sit here and we complain that other schools are not benefiting, we try to disregard the entire policy that government is trying to bring into being. We must ensure, which is why government is looking for alternatives for places where they are lacking the connectivity. And so I think that we must commend government. I've never seen, sometimes we must commend government when government is doing something that has not been done before.
You think the government hasn't been commended enough?
Well, I think, yes.
The people of Ghana have not commended the government enough.
I think that the people of Ghana appreciate the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I know that the people of Ghana appreciate all the interventions that we have brought in. Look, I'll tell you one truth. I have a driver who has 4 children. He tells me every single day that 2 of his children have benefited from free SHS. That's significant. Okay? In recent times, the clergymen have thanked the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for introducing free SHS because parents do not come to them to ask for money. And so if you look at the interventions that government has put in place, we know that the Ghanaian people are thankful. The Ghanaian people appreciate the efforts of government. The Ghanaian people appreciate that the taxpayers' money is not going to someone's pocket. and that it is going to the right things that must be done. And I think that over and over again, as we see our government and our country develop, we must be able to chalk huge success and huge strides. This is not something that ever happened. In 2000, we didn't have free internet in senior high schools. In 2008, we didn't have free internet in senior high schools. In 2012, we didn't have free internet in senior high schools. It's happened under the bold government and leadership of President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That alone, we must commend.
Okay, very well.
Quick question.
I'll come to you, NIA.
Both of us would definitely need to say something, but I don't know if I can take the lead one.
So let's try and make it snappy so we can get into the STC.
Oh no, just question.
Yeah, I'll come to you, NIA.
KMJ, listen. In the contract that the release that he read, there are portions of it that he alludes to, and I just want to add this to it. It says that in the statement, this means that despite the approval amount of recurring expenditure, the ministry does not pay a peswa if services do not reach the 50% into bracket. The 50%, less than half of the month threshold in a particular month. So basically, you've signed an agreement with a provider that allows that provider, for as long as they can provide you service for 16 days, 15 or 16 days every month, you pay them for a month. This is what you've done. If they can provide you 15 days, 16, so if the rest of the month can go, it's not a problem. Yeah. How is that?
The consistency in
it doesn't even make sense. Again, he indicated when he read that the ministry is considering cancelling the contract in places that connectivity is a problem. Isn't this what we told you? When you said you wanted to do wholesale, we told you, listen, even in some places in Accra, there are problems with network. So there are certain places, don't put money. So when you put money in a place like Nyankpanduri, assuming there's a senior secondary school there, and you know connectivity is a problem, what is that? What is that? What do you call that? KMJ, you see, anytime I listen to the MPP, they have increased me in faith. Because honestly, anytime I read the Quran and I look at their attitude, I get worried. Look, careful, woe unto every scorner and mocker. They scorn us and they mock us. Like, you know, a scorner is basically someone who doesn't see you worthy of attention. Like we're talking. They're pretending not to listen. They gather the money and they continue counting it. They are gathering, like 56 million, we're gathering. When they gather the money, they don't continue to count it. So he's piling up the money. Every time he checks under his bed, how much is it? Then he's counting. He wants to be sure. He's counting, okay, how much can I add? They assume and presume that they would never die, that their money will make them immortal. This is what you're doing. How is that possible? How do you tell me? How do you tell me in the face? How do you mock me and scorn me in the face and tell me that it is okay that you are admitting today that you want to cancel contracts in certain areas when we had earlier on told you that don't do it? And then you sit here and comfortably, talk about it like nothing is happening.
Very well.
KMJ, so like I said, if you realize my submission on this issue, I didn't even want to go into the details of the matter. I wanted to look at it from an overview point here. That
clear beyond every reasonable doubt that this is what it is.
That if someone is making an allegation against a government institution and has stated the fact of a certain matter, and then the government comes out to make a counterclaim, right now, who do we believe? Where does the matter stand? So if we go by the statement our brother just read, the ministry is basically saying Fourth Estate is lying. Isn't that
where you actually began from?
So what do we do with this matter as it stands? Who is saying the truth and who is not? And how do we ascertain that? That's what I'm saying. You don't allow or create an atmosphere where anybody can come out and make any allegations. So why are we not taking this matter on so we can find out what the substance of the matter is? Because then it comes to claims and counterclaims. I'm saying no. If the ministry believes that yes, no wrongdoing has been done, they should take on the Fourth Estate. Because the Fourth Estate doesn't have any right to just come and make publication of false news. In fact, when our Director for Special Operations was arrested, Hobson Adoye, for his statements he made, the charge that was slapped on him was for publicizing false information. So if Fourth Estate has come out to say this and the ministry has come out to debunk all of those things, why don't we have the same charge flying around there? But I'm saying, yes, this is a very worrying and disturbing thing. So, Paul Griff, I don't know if you can forward this concern to the government. Okay. You cannot allow people to come out and make unsubstantiated claims. If it is not true, let us find that on the record. But then again, KMJ, the interesting thing about this whole thing is, this document you're talking about, this contract, was supposed to be supervised by Parliament, right or wrong?
Right.
Yes. What is Parliament doing about these things? And when the contract was sent to Parliament to be deliberated on, are they telling me that there was nobody in there who could raise all the issues with this and to prevent these things from getting passed as they are? Why do we sit in this country, allow certain contracts to go into Parliament? They are passed. Later on, we come back and then raise issues with the contract and say the contracts are not supposed to be passed. There are some clauses in there that don't make sense, or some of them being illegal, so we want to strike these things out. Wouldn't you say this is a collaboration between the two main parties in Parliament to do this thing to our nation? And Adele, sometimes I feel like you're actually in the wrong space. No. Because when you were speaking, I was listening to the concerns you're making. I'm saying, no, these are very salient points you're making. But if we have these things go to Parliament, and Parliament is supposed to scrutinize all of these contracts before they are passed, how do we sit aloof, let these things go through? Later, we come onto the media space and come and make noise about this. Then again, this is another message to the youth of Ghana who are watching. Consistently, the MPP and NDC have been playing musical chairs with our conscience and our nation and our destinies. This is a time where we have to wise up and say, look, we're going to take our matters into our own hands. Let us be citizens and not spectators. Like Jefferson said, he says, the cost of freedom or liberty is eternal vigilance. And that's what Ghanaians have been lacking for a long time. Most of us have been indifferent to political issues and these consequences. But the youth of Ghana are saying never again. GMJ, this time, Ghanaians are looking, particularly the youth, we're looking to be very, very active participants in the governance process. And we are taking notice of all of these things that are happening. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you very much. Let's say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for bringing us what we're having right now, the conversations we're having right now. You can also make your way there and grab something for yourself. The new Malta Guinness Ginger can is also out there. It's doing magic, full of vitamins, energy, vitality. It's making people go about their daily activities without stress. And you also need it. If you get one, you can just take a picture and send it to us. And let's see how you're enjoying the new Malta Guinness Ginger can. It's sleek. And it's the best on the market, so do well and go grab yours as well. The Joy News Impact Makers is making the difference, and we're celebrating and rewarding people who have contributed to society immensely. And so these are the people that we want you to also come and help us to support them. And this June is going to happen. The second edition will be happening, and we're calling on Corporate Ghana to come and support us as we ensure that these people feel celebrated for all that they have done in the areas of education, infrastructure. There are people who personally use their monies to build bridges for their communities, to make accessibility very, very easy. And there are people who have taken lots of young people to schools and taking care of them. These are the people that we're saying that they are making the difference in society. We want you and I to celebrate. And so please do come on board and let's make this happen. I'm going to get some few messages and then we'll come back to the STC issue and deal with that as well. You can send your messages to us and let us know what you think. Your contribution is very much welcome here on the show. Whilst I'm trying to get my messages over there, let me try and also pass on this information to you before I get some of the messages. Now, don't forget that we are also looking at preparing good food in our homes. I'll tell you about Tasty Tom tomato mix. It's very enriched. I'll share that with you here. Okay, so let me go back and see. Is it this one? Okay, so this is coming from Kwamena Acidity Ahafo Achiringsu. It says, economic destroyer Dr. Bawumia is not the right material to lead this country come 2024. MPP government led by President Akufo-Addo Bawumia has made various promises to Ghanaians during their campaign and tenure. MPP government promised to create jobs, but the unemployment remains significant impact among the youth. The NPP government promised to reduce electricity tariffs, but prices have increased. The NPP government failed Ghanaians woefully. My regards to Honorable Charity Gardner, I have regional women's organizer, NDC. Let me go to this one over here and see who has sent us says, aka Dr. Baumia is breaking the 8. Good morning, KMJ. First of all, a special birthday to Gifty Sewa, aka Adra Door of Hidium, who works at FNet Enterprise Kumase. Do have a fantastic celebration. Anyway, Ghanaians should say no to the incompetent and deceitful party, the NDC. Dr. Baumia holds the keys to the development of Ghana. Okay, so we've got you. Let me go to the next one over here and see what we've got. And okay, it's a happy birthday message. It's a happy birthday to Mama Vivian with more blessings, long life, joy, happiness. Asira will be doing justice to all of them a bit later on the show. So just hold on tight for us. This one says, good morning, please. Some of the school have access to the free Wi-Fi, but now it is not working. So this is the area of they have it, but it's not working. My school is an example. Akuse SHS for almost a year now. All right. So we've got some students also sending us proof of the fact that indeed they've got the Wi-Fi, but it's not working. Hopefully we'll be able to see more of such. Now, corruption has eaten into the very fabrics of our dear nation. I share in the ideology of the butterfly man in your studio that the sad reality is that appointees of this current government have been clothed with immunity against proper investigation and prosecution. This has emboldened many more appointees to involve themselves in corruption, knowing well that as long as Akufo-Addo remains president, nothing will happen to them. I urge all well-meaning Ghanaians to vote massively for JDM come December 7. I am of the firm belief that JDM will ensure that all these corrupt officials are brought to book when he resumes office in January 2025. Daniel Akaliok from Sandema sent in that. Let me go to Zenu, and it's coming all the way from Alasan, and it says, good morning to you all. What is the movement for change man crying for? Do I hear him talking about allegations against government officials? What did they do when they were in opposition with the MPP? When government officials misuse our taxpayers' money recklessly, we shouldn't talk about it. Okay. There's a big question mark over there. Alaji Hamza in Payfam says, good morning, my brother. Interesting times we live in this country, but wonders shall never end. Did I hear Dr. Baumia calling on the clergy to come together and will help to partner private companies to complete the National Cathedral? What an insult to Ghanaians. The poor taxpayers' money was used to import a stone from Israel for the foundation of this cathedral. 21 houses belonging to our judges has been demolished. National Service Secretariat, the passport office, and the other state assets have all been demolished, all in the name of a cathedral. It is all about stealing in the name of the Lord and building the cathedral based on lies. God will be disappointed in President Akufo-Addo if he does not complete this cathedral at the end of his tenure in office. This was his personal promise to God. Good morning, KMJ. Tell Neo Parade that it is true. I am a teacher at one of the secondary in Ghana, and there's no internet or Wi-Fi. KMJ, this is one of the scam of the MPP government. Never again. Go and rest. Young guys have achieved your aim of looting the state. By Don Stephen. Stephen, you didn't tell us where exactly the school is. We'll be grateful if you can do so. When you send us anything like that, kindly add the school to it so we can verify. Now, hi, host. It's sad the promise of zero tolerance for corruption has metamorphosed into a golden age of weekly corruption and scandals by a regime that is in economic crisis and going around the world begging for arms to salvage the economy. Why is the AG not interested in prosecuting scandals involving members of his family and friends' regime? Is this a democracy or plutocracy or a jungle? May God save us from this looting brigade. Now, let me do the last one, and then I'll come back and do more, but maybe we'll do this last one and then we'll go on with the next topic. Now, good morning to you. Combating corruption in our political space requires a collective effort from individuals at all levels of society by educating ourselves, participating in the democratic process, supporting whistleblowers, promoting transparency, rejecting unethical behavior, and advocating for legal reforms. We can contribute to the fight against corruption and help create a more accountable and ethical political environment. It is only through these collective actions that we can effectively combat corruption and uphold the principles of democracy and good governance. Aaron Babakoko Komise in Accra sent us that. All right, very well. Some of the messages that you have sent to us this morning, we're grateful that you were able to also share your thoughts with us. We're going to be moving on to our next topic. I'll try and read more of your messages, so keep them coming. Now, our next topic has to do with the state's intercity, the STC, have come out. There's a release that I'm going to read to you. But then again, they're supposed to have been the third MD. And the people say, no, we don't need this. But they have actually issued a statement to that regard. So let me get the statement and then let you understand exactly what is on the grounds. So this is what they wrote. Intercity STC Coaches Limited, and it says union petition and the matters arising at Intercity State STC. Now it says our attention has been drawn to media reports on Intercity STC Coaches Limited. We noticed these reports have come from a petition letter by the union leadership addressed to the ISTC board on subject matter of the appointment of a new deputy managing director to the ISTC. Now it says we comment on the issues raised in the union petition letter as follows. Arrears on workers' provident contributions updated from 2011, that is 14 years ago. The arrears have progressively been reduced to 4 years. These 4 years arrears have been largely due to the COVID-19 difficult operating environment. It goes on and says, number 2, SNID arrears updated from 2013. STC is now current on monthly payments. The arrears have also been reduced to a little above 4 million Ghana cedis. Now, the STC bus fleet are aged 9 years for the Scania fleet and 5 years for the Daewoo fleet. By the norms of Intercity, long-distance travel standards, they are average, hence the frequent and prolonged visits to the workshop. They are due to be replaced. Now, the company is currently making every effort to replace the entire fleet. 2 delegations are leaving shortly for China and taking to conclude arrangements for the new fleet. The STC debt to ADB has been reduced from 140,000 Ghana cedis to 80 million. STC pays to 2 million Ghana cedis monthly to ADB. Now, the ISTC board will meet with the union leaders on Thursday, June 6, 2024, to resolve the workers' anxieties over the new appointment, which has occasioned the petition. So it's signed by Anita Abakasika, Public Relations. And the whole thing is that the workers have complained about some of these issues that are happening in the organization. But then those issues have not been addressed, but rather they are trying to replace a managing director with another person. Now, don't forget that they have a first managing director, second, and they wanted to add a third, and the staff says, no. We don't think this is where we want to begin with all this conversation, all right? So that's what is happening over there. Lee, let me start from you.
Right. Then again, Kimji, I always like to look at things from interesting perspectives. So then again, it's another case of claims and counterclaims.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I am tempted to take the side of the workers as against the management. Because if you look at the statements you just read, there's something interesting there that makes it very difficult for me to take it seriously. And that's the point number 4.
Okay.
It says the STC debt to ADB has been reduced from 140,000.
No, it's actually 40 million.
Around 40 million.
Yeah.
The statement said 40,000.
No, when the statement is written and it has a dot after the last 3 dots, it's million.
Okay.
Yeah.
140,000.000.00. What figure is that?
It's million. 140 million.
No. Why did they decide to write in?
No.
I agree. I understand what the explanation is given, but
140, okay, and it's a dot. It's not a comma. Okay,
no, it's a comma. It's a comma.
It's a dot.
No, it's a comma.
No. Please.
Is it a comma? What we see here is a comma.
It's a dot.
Wait.
140.
So what's the difference then?
No.
I am reading from a screenshot.
Yeah, and I'm reading
of the statement.
It's 140 million.
Okay.
It's 140.
I think we do. Okay.
Million.
KMG, what's figure?
It's 140,000. There's a comma over there.
See, it's 140 million.
What figure is this?
See, 140,000 dot. Yes,
00.
It's
so 140,000.
Okay, let me
million.
Okay, continue. I'll let us project it so that we see what it's like.
Wow.
But you continue.
Yes, so I'm saying this alone makes it very sketchy for me because you're saying the STC debt to ADB has been reduced from 140,000 Ghana cedis to 80 million Ghana cedis. Now, if you can sign a document like this without making the necessary corrections, you realize this was either done in haste or the priority this should have received was not done. I mean, such a very serious issue, you cannot treat it as if it's not that serious. And this makes it very difficult for me to accept this from the management. However, the workers are the ones who live day to day on the grounds, as you may, in the organization. And they're saying out of over 140 plus buses.
Yeah.
They have just about 39 that are operational. This didn't say anything about those. Do we disregard that? I'm saying you don't even need the workers to say this to you. Look at STC. What's their visibility? And if you're going to do any of this research, you realize that there are other transport services that are making more business than STC. So what's the current state of STC? That's not something that we have to go do any proper research to find. We know, we see it, we experience it. So I'm saying, you see, another issue of claims and counterclaims. The workers didn't know exactly what is happening. They've made some concern. In any case, you say you're going to employ...
They replace the managing director, who becomes the third managing director.
And the people are saying we don't need that. I mean, have they been able to justify why they need an extra manager? If you had made the excuse that we're increasing the number of our fleet, so we needed more managers to handle this, that makes sense. But if you're not expanding the fleet, it's actually dwindling, and you're not able to manage it, why are you bringing an extra manager? If you feel the current managers you have are not efficient, the best thing to do is to let them go. And then you can bring whoever is more competent into the space. But you do not bring a lot more people in there to manage something that is shrinking in size. I mean, the logic doesn't, the math is not mathing. It doesn't make sense. But you know, governance is a serious business. And I'm saying this is supposed to come under the Ministry of Transportation, if I'm correct. Now, this Parliament has direct oversight over these things. So sometimes when we are sending all our backlash and all of that, I think we misaddress or we send them to the wrong locations. This case has to be brought to Parliament directly. If the sector minister in charge here is not doing what he's supposed to, clearly managers of STC are not doing what they have to. The final arbiter in some of these cases is Parliament. So why are we not raising these concerns directly on the floor of Parliament so this could be addressed properly? But you see, we play musical chairs around these issues. It does not go to where it has to go, and then things just... We leave things the way they are. I'll just add this as a fun fact. It's clear if you read the functions of the Attorney General. Any government action, any action that is being brought against government has to be addressed. I like that you put on your, so if you could scroll down.
I saw it and started laughing too, man.
So your viewers could see what I'm saying. And then you probably have to look at your math again because in your figures, if you have 140,000 dots, that is 140,000, not 140.
Okay, so this is what we have over there.
Yes. Adele. So viewers will make...
but it's clear, really, KMJ, you see.
No.
Let's not pity party about this.
Let me wrap up. No,
I come to you. I just put it there so our viewers will see.
I like this, so it wouldn't be as if...
You've got 1 minute.
So your viewers can make the deductions on this. So KMJ, I'm saying, so I was adding the fun fact.
Yeah.
Any action that's being brought against government has to be addressed or taken to the Attorney General. So if you're going to do anything against any ministry or anything, and you mistakenly address it to... you mistakenly address it to the minister or the ministry, you probably will not have any response. It says any action that's brought against government has to be sent to the Attorney General. And that's some of the things that we have to educate our people on. This is civic education. So some people are trying to get responses or certain issues addressed from local government especially. If you're writing any concern or any request to the local assembly, it has to be addressed to the secretary to the assembly, not just to the assembly or the MC or the DC. You have no response. The law is really clear. But you see, our people don't understand how to engage with government or the governance system. So some of these issues go unaddressed. I would like to be in touch with the drivers' union so we can look at how we can champion some of these issues. We can address them, get responses. But sometimes when you just write the claim and you put it out there, that is not actually going to give you the remedy you're looking for. Yes. So, I mean, Palgrave, this is 140,000.
Adele, let me come to you. Let me come to you. Palgrave will have the last words so he can address some of the issues that we've been raised. Adele.
KMJ, I am excited that Nana Komia did not end up in the Ministry of Energy or Ministry of Finance or,
Chief.
He probably deserves where he was placed. Nana Komia is that one man that sits on Metro TV. I used to have a lot of respect for that man. I'm not going to lie to you. Growing up in politics, I used to watch him, and then I was like, oh, this guy is, But he has proven over the years that he actually, was all talk. This is the man that sits on Metro TV every Friday and calls His Excellency John Dramani Mahama incompetent. Labels him as incompetent. calls the man who has been handed over not just STC, but all the ministries and all the agencies that falls under this country. He calls the man who has been given the responsibility to manage the health of every Ghanaian incompetent. But he can't manage STC. You can't turn STC around. Listen, there's something that is critical. Are you aware of the fact that the bus terminal, the STC bus terminal, after the railway, not what you know, circle interchange, after the railway, are you aware of the fact that it is not government, it's private?
Since when?
Oh, yeah, it's not. I'm telling you on authority. STC is now doing work and pay. You know what work and pay is? So people buy buses and then they say, oh, Monfanye Juma, and then pay us small. That's what they're doing. 140 plus buses, you have mismanaged them to 39. 39. 140. You're still sitting on TV, calling people names. How is that? Small letter. 140,000 is all of a sudden, 140,000 is 140 million. Reduced to 80 million.
That's from the public affairs.
Yes,
so,
signed Anita Abakasika, yeah.
As a public relations fault. I'm not sure Nana Akomia should be in this.
He didn't review it. He didn't see it. The buck stops where?
Okay, and then wrapping up for me, now we've got 5 minutes to do this. So,
in my final conclusion, I'm saying that each and every one of us in this room today, including your cameraman, I can see, blossom on the corner. Each and every one of us here today would admit that if you have a family and you used to earn 2,000 Ghana cedis a month, and for whatever reasons, your salary has now dropped to 1,000 Ghana cedis a month. If you used to spend 1,500 Ghana cedis for the family and had extra 500 Ghana cedis to do your leisure activities, now that you have 1,000 Ghana cedis, it will be ridiculous and stupendous for you to decide to still take out 500 Ghana cedis to go and have leisure and leave the family with 500 Ghana cedis, when in reality, you actually need 1,500. This is what the workers are telling you. The workers who are working under you are showing you wisdom. They are telling you that, look, we don't understand what is going on. So your sons and your daughters and your wife are telling you, Charlie, Paul, they're not woo ye. Ejuma is say egu. What 1,000 now whatever. 1,000 also will be if you are talking about. This is what they're telling you. They're telling Nana Akomia, the one who sits on Metro TV, that listen, what are you doing? We've managed with 2 deputies all this while. There's no problem. Why do you want to add another person, give him salary, give him allowances, give him whatever benefits that comes with it, when in reality, you are in arrears. Workers' Provident Fund arrears for 6 years. 6 years. Workers Tier 2, arrears totaling 6 months. Workers net deductions in arrears exceeding 6 million Ghana cedis. Only 39 out of 149 buses are operational. What is wrong with you? This is what they're asking you.
Okay, you've got 4 minutes to do this for me. Our time is up.
I think that an attack on the respected Nana Akomia is unfounded by Adele, because you see, you can't just pick an individual and vent and anger as though you have an issue with him and reference he's sitting on Metro TV.
I do.
He spoke highly of him before he said that.
I do.
I mean,
it means he admires him.
No.
Until maybe something
happens.
happens.
Let me just build my point. I mean, I sit on TV. He does on TV. He does on TV. It's a civic responsibility that the fourth realm of the estate has created as part of our governance process to engage the Ghanaian people. And so if you come on TV like he's doing this morning and venting an anger over the respected Nana Akomia, whom everybody adores, and the excellent work he has done at STC. And I like to bring it to your notice. You see, KMJ, I like to have long conversations that yield impact for our future. if you look at the statement of claim that has come from the STC, it goes to state that there's been high level of mismanagement from years past. Date it. Date it very well.
Never.
It says from 2011. KMJ, please, who was in power in 2011?
The Ghanaian people should tell me.
Who was in power in 2011? It says that there was an arrears of close to about, 14 years arrears that was not paid for the workers. That dated from 2011. Look at it, 2011, 14 years ago. And then it talks about a SNIT arrears that dated to 2013. Who was in power in 2013? The respected John Atta Mills had died. An election had been won in 2013. Who was in power? The Ghanaian people should tell us. And then it talks about an arrears as well that dates back from ADB Bank, that dates back as well to many years, that the STC has reduced that. So if you come into a government like we have, and you meet state agencies that have been mismanaged, and all you need to do is to fight to ensure that the state agency revives back, and all you're doing every single day is paying arrears. All you're doing every single day is paying arrears. Sometimes when people say that others have mismanaged, go back to it. KMJ, I'll give you one simple example. All of us around this table come from homes. It's the same way every single person watching us is coming from a home. The product of your home is exhibited out there. That's the product of your home. So if you see someone misbehaving, you don't just deal with the individual. Deal with the background of the individual. The issues that we are confronted with today is at the background of the NDC. I'm sad to state. From 2011, arrears, and all the STC has been doing with the respected Nana Kumia is making sure that we are keeping this agency breathing. Keeping it breathing, and paying arrears. And look at the level of reductions we have made from these arrears that stemmed back 9 years ago. These arrears that stemmed back 14 years ago, we've reduced that significantly. I don't think we should pity party with 140,000, 140 million. Well, consider it as a slim error. But even if it is, if you have reduced it from 140 million to 80 million, how much have you paid? 60 million Ghana cedis. Really, for me, you see, I look at health of organizations based on your liquidity and based on your bank references. If an agency is running at a loss, like we have seen over the years, and the respected Nana Kumia has worked very hard to revamp this agency, I think that the least we could do is to cast insinuations at him on an early morning like this. The least we can do is to consider his efforts and his work. And the least that these workers can do is also to consider that your SNIT that had not been paid by previous governments, our government has come and has paid your SNIT for you. Do you know how crucial it is for you to have SNIT payment that goes into your future?
Does it justify the adding up of a new managing director?
I am concerned, and I'm coming to that. I'm concerned that the letter is silent on it. I'm concerned.
I was shocked it was not even...
I'm concerned. But it also goes to claim that that is an unfounded truth. And I hope it is. Do you understand?
The workers can't make this up.
All appointments that are made, we are aware, would definitely come from the office of the president. And so there is no evidence to show that any letter of that sort has either been issued or signed by the chief of staff or even by the secretary to the president. There's nothing to show. So if the letter is silent on the appointment of a third PMD, it means that it goes to claim that it's not true. And I hope that it is not true. Because you see, really, KMJ, I believe in quality rather than quantity. So you talk about 140 buses, and you 39. Talk about 39, and you talk about the welfare of people. KMJ, yesterday, in fact, every single day, I wake up and people call me, help me do this, help me do that, help me do this, help me do that. And sometimes I tell my family, it appears that I work into people's pockets. So I'm concerned that nobody on this table is concerned about the welfare of the workers of STC. It's not about the quantity of buses. It's about the quality and the welfare of the people. SNIT has been in arrears. Your welfare is critically important. And so really for me, I would want to commend the STC. I would want to commend the leadership of Nana Kumia for steering such a difficult boat and meeting arrears and not running away. There are people that have met arrears and have run away. The best show off of leadership is when you are able to look at the arrears, find innovative ways to raise internal funding to be able to pay those monies.
Okay.
Of course, the STC has stated that there is a delegation that would go to China and will go to Turkey to look into buses to come in. Now, I am concerned as well that these people are not making statements of the commendation and the efforts that STC is putting into this. You know, we can't come always on TV and paint a picture of gloom because that's not what it is. The workers of STC themselves know that those arrears that they had in SNIT, had any of them gone on pension, they will not have their pension money. So you should be concerned that a government is thinking about your future. A government is thinking about your welfare. And I'm very certain that this third appointment of a deputy managing director is unfounded and not true.
Okay,
because there's
all right.
no claim to it.
Okay, that'll be our time.
How do you?
We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time.
30 seconds. But he said some things about us.
How do you? Because
30 seconds.
I don't have time.
You have had your time.
30 seconds.
We all came late today.
The truth of it.
I came late. You all came late.
I've come to state the truth of it.
All right.
He's lied about
something about the health. Corrected. I'm looking about the health.
He lied about something. The workers are not confident.
Let me thank you. Oh, gentlemen, you're not being gentlemen enough this morning, really. Tasty Tom and Ring Tomato Mix is for you, and I want you to go get yours as you prepare your favorite dish this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Please look out for Tasty Tom and Tomato Mix. It's the best on the market. It's good tomato flavor that gives you the consistent and unique taste to all your dishes, and you can actually rely on Tasty Tom and Ring Tomato Mix for all of these. That is why we say that radio tomato mix, papa, go grab yours. No color changing like traffic light, debia, koko, kama. Taste no studio is always on point, and please do not compromise on quality. Top up panel at once and be good. A big thank you to the gentlemen for making time for me this morning. Adele, Omar, Sheikh Ibrahim, Pagre Wachidankwa, and of course, my brother Niai also joining us this morning. Are you tired now?
It's not true. I mean,
that'll be our time for this morning. There is more coming up. And see what the Golden Girl is standing by for the latest update in trends. We've got the big interview this morning as well. Rosalind Fellow will be having that conversation. Nathaniel Lato will be joining us to find out what exactly the Black Stars are doing as they go into the qualifications for the World Cup. They have a match this Thursday as well. So Nathaniel will be bringing you some more update on that as well. There's more here on the show. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Please do stay with us.
Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun fee.